How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about a couple different games. I really could not pinpoint down exactly what I wanted to talk about in this video. Unfortunately, there's just not a lot of gaming news out there other than some leaks about The Last of Us 2, which I've been debating making a video on because I don't know if it's good to stir the pot when it comes to leaks or not. I'm not a strong believer in leaks, but we're going to go over a couple new games that are going to be coming out here soon, and basically just go over some cool things that are going to be coming out here in the recent couple months. So let's go ahead and start with this one right here, Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. Now, I shortly talked about this in my other Switch video from Switch games that are coming out here soon, alongside Borderlands 2 and Bioshock. At the end of this month, guys, we'll have Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, Bioshock, the whole series, and the Borderlands series, not including Borderlands 3, all on Switch, which is going to be pretty dope if you ask me. So Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition is the original Xenoblade Chronicles. You can already get the sequel on Switch right now, but this is the definitive edition of the original game put onto Switch. So that's pretty dope. But there is another version of this game. There's the definitive work set, which is going to cost you couple extra bucks, $20 extra, and you get the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Works premium hardbound art book with slipcase. So it has a slipcase on it, and that all goes into this whole work set thing here. And honestly, guys, this is looking pretty nice. Just for basically a remaster, a reskin, whatever you want to call it. I wouldn't necessarily call this a remake. This is more of a remaster. It looks better, but they did not build it, I don't think, from the ground up. Maybe some assets are, but overall, this game actually looks pretty nice and is a good way to really understand the series. If you never wanted to jump into the sequel and you're like, man, I really would have liked to play the first game first, well, now's your chance. You can actually do that, and it's portable, which is really nice being on the Switch and whatnot. So yeah, this is pretty freaking sweet to get for the Switch. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about, which is unmissable just by how big it is Paper Mario and the Origami King. Now, I'm not huge on Mario games, but I know this is going to be a pretty big hit. So this comes out July 17th. So it's just a couple months away, guys. And this is the successor to the Paper Mario series. As you can see here, there's some nice little origami stuff going on. I don't believe this series originally had origami-like stuff in it, so this is going to be Paper Mario, but now there's lots of origami type of characters in this now, instead of just normal flat looking Marios like they have here. But if you end up pre-ordering this game, you do get a pin set. You get the origami looking Peach and the normal just Paper Mario, which is pretty cool and pretty fun to see. I would have liked something like Yoshi or something like that. Would have been cool. There's some gameplay of it here. And the origami honestly looks really nice, and I do like this art style. It's interesting. It's not boring. It kind of keeps you on your feet. And this looks pretty nice. I'm surprised they did something so well like this, especially on the Switch. I think this will look great. I'm not sure if these are screenshots of it docked or what. I'm guessing that's the Origami King we just seen right here. I'm guessing that's the Origami King. You get the little emo going on here. You know what I'm saying? A little emo downfold. That's Paper Mario. That's something to look forward to in July. And to all the anime fans out there, I'm not huge on Sword Art either, but we do have a new Sword Art game coming out July 10th. So expect that one soon. And if you pre-order, you get pre-order to receive 4 design contest costumes. So basically what happened is Sword Art Online had a design contest, and if you end up pre-ordering the game, you get the 4 winners, basically. You get the 4 outfit winners. 2 of the characters can then change out to these different outfits. It looks like some knight armor, some little, I don't know, like Komodo looking thing, and just some more battle armor and whatnot, which is actually pretty dope. I actually like these outfits more than I think just the standard outfits of the game. But that's all I really have. And towards newer games coming out, of course, we have the Borderlands collections all coming out, and the Bioshock ones. Go watch my Borderlands and Bioshock video. It makes a lot more sense because the cartridges and whatnot, it's kind of hard to fit all of that onto one cartridge. So either you have to buy the game separately, or you have to buy the game and then you have to digitally download the rest of the games in the collections. When it comes to the whole Bioshock thing and the whole Borderlands thing, you have to go and actually have multiple cartridges, or you have to have cartridge plus download. So it's kind of hard to do all that depending on who you are, you might want things to be different. You might not want to have to do as many digital downloads because then it's gonna take up SD card space and whatnot, which is understandable. I understand a lot of you have that, but some people have different preferences. That's totally understandable, and I totally get that. And in other news, we do have the leaks for The Last of Us. So I'm not going to actually pull them up. I'm not going to do that because I know how bad this could be. just doing stuff like this. I'm going to go to images. I ain't going to click on anything. But there are some leaks that a lot of people have been finding for The Last of Us Part 2. Supposedly it was an old programmer. Supposedly it was someone who was bad and kind of hated what was going on there and ended up leaking the story. Supposedly it's a full story. So if you are a person who does not want to run into that, do not look this up. Do not go after it. Do not look for this. Troy Baker even coming out, the guy who, voices Joel, he came out and said, hey, you know what? Just because it got leaked, it's not the full game. It's not the full experience. Supposedly the leaks are not the entire game. But of course, it's something that gives him money. Of course, he's going to defend it and say, hey, still buy it anyway. Of course. But with the whole pandemic and everything going on, Naughty Dog was pushing The Last of Us Part 2 towards further into the year just because they wanted to be able to have a nice window for people to actually be able to get the game and play it and whatnot. They didn't want to ruin the experience. But these are major spoilers. If you do end up seeing them, they will spoil major parts of this game. So do not seek them. I don't even know what they are. I have not went and looked for them because I do not even want to know what they are at all. I just started getting into The Last of Us. I started playing the first one not too long ago. I had a lot of fun with that game, loved it to death, and I do not want to have this game spoiled. It's kind of in the air, really. Do you want to just figure out what the story is that might spoil the game for you? Some people don't mind leaks. Some people don't care. Some people are just more, I just care about game mechanics. I don't really care about the story. Some people are like that. That's not me, however. I am super story driven. I cannot deal with knowing the full story. That's just going to spoil it for me. It makes me feel like the progress I'm making in the game isn't doing much for the story, and I already know what's going on, so why would I want to continue anyway? It kind of just gets you into that mind state of, well, anything I do doesn't really matter because I know it's going to happen anyway. So that's why I'm avoiding all of these leaks, and I would recommend avoiding them too because I think this game is going to be good. Lots of people thinking it's being pushed back because there's issues with the game. I don't think that's necessarily true. I think it's just because of the pandemic and they wanted to push it further. Although I'm pretty sure they came out and said that they had pushed it back multiple times just from themselves, not because of the pandemic. So maybe they are having some issues, maybe they aren't. A lot of people said that it was an employee who got upset and leaked the stuff. I don't think that's necessarily true. I know Boogie2988 made a video about that as well, talking about how it wasn't him, it wasn't an employee, that it was somebody else who ended up getting in somehow and ended up leaking certain things. It really just doesn't make a lot of sense, to be completely honest, as to who exactly did it. If you guys know any information on these leaks, let me know, because I don't fully understand exactly what all is going on with this whole thing. I just know that it's good to just not go for those leaks. If those are something that you do not want to see, definitely just leave them alone, and definitely just don't even look up the game right now. Wait for its release to come out and go for it. I also have a video on The Last of Us Part 2 showing different versions of the game you can get. There's actually some cool like steelbook versions and whatnot of this game that are pretty nice to look at, actually, and really good, art pieces and whatnot. But I think that's gonna wrap up this video, guys. Sorry this one didn't have a ton of content. I'm really trying to just get anything I can right now. There's not a ton going on gaming news wise, and I want to make sure I get you guys that content. But you can expect those games coming out here soon, and we'll have to just wait and see. We're just gonna have to get updated on this Last of Us Part 2 story. I don't think we have the full story yet. I think in the future we're gonna get the full story, but I hope you guys all enjoyed the video. Keep playing your games out there. Like, comment, subscribe for more content, and as always, thank you all so much for watching.